Welcome to this tutorial on financial modeling using Kaluta projection methodology. Last time we ended up tutoring on how to prepare common size financials. Okay, and that is a vertical analysis because it concentrates on converting the financials into percentage terms in the same period of time. Okay, for example, in here we are at our annual income statement, and we did conversion of our annual income statement into common size financials using sales as the base figure for conversion. That's why it is 100%, as you can see. And then cost of sales was 70%, gross profit 30%, salaries and wages 14%. So we are comparing year one percentage term. Okay, percentage wise we are comparing year one, the same period. Okay, and if we are talking about year two, then we are comparing percentages in the same year two period. So that's the vertical analysis. Now horizontal analysis compares the performance between the periods. So it's a trend analysis. And we are going to do that one now. And we will use two ways of doing that. The first one is using a baseline. Okay, so in this case year one is going to be our base year for conversion of the future years, and the other method is year over year. Okay, so with year over year we compare the current year with the previous year. So let's start with our baseline approach by taking year one as our base year. So let me copy that one and then paste it here. So there are two ways of doing that. Okay, so let me paste it again here. Paste it again. This is the second. Paste it again. This should be third, and paste it again. This should be fourth. So let's start with the first one. So we are going to use year one as a baseline, and we look for changes in absolute amount. Okay, so for example, year one the sales figure was 257.2 million. In year two is 306.18 million. So we just look for the absolute figure, the difference. Okay, so in that case let me start with the formula here. Start with equal sign. So we are going to compare starting with year one here with itself. Okay, so this figure of year one, okay, minus itself, but I need to lock column C so that when I drag this formula I'll always remain in column C, but row wise I can be relative. I will explain it why is that. So to lock column C I start with $sign, and then type C to lock row C. So C and then 2, in this case 2. So I type 2. Okay. So that's check. So it is 0 because we compared it with itself. But let me fill this formula up to here 3, and let me expand this so that we see format size, out of it column width. Okay, so for the sales figure, if we go to year 2 now, here we see, if we go click on the formula bar, we see we have taken year 2 figure minus year 1 figure to get the difference of the absolute value. And if we go to here, the same, if I click on there, we took year 3 figure minus year 1. So always year 1 is the base year for finding out the difference of the absolute amount. Okay, that's why I used to lock C. We will see the function of locking C if I drag this one now. If I select all this and then copy this and then go to each element here, paste, come here from salaries and wages, select all these up to here, and then paste, come to here, select all this, and then paste here, the same, paste here, the same, paste here. Let me take all this up to profit after tax here, paste. So if I go to any place, for example, if I click here in salaries and wages and click on the formula bar, you will see it has taken I'm in year 2 there, so it has taken year 2 figure minus year 1 figure, okay, to get the absolute value. And if I go to here, or say here, somewhere here, it has taken year 3 minus year 1. Okay, so column wise I will always be in C, but row wise I am relative. That's the use of the formula there. That's why I could drag it down. So that is absolute value. And now let us do the same, but this is for percentage. Okay, for percentages. So I tap here, edit, use this one, start with equal sign, again taking this year figure. Okay, there are two ways, but let me use the easiest way first, and then I will explain the other way later. So you take the current figure, divide by the previous figure. Okay, the previous figure. In this case, because our base year right now, because the previous will always be the base year, and we also need to log column C. So the same applies. So this figure divide by, start with $, and then type C, and that we were in C2, so type 2, press enter. So this now is going to be on percentage terms. Let me format this to be percentage. So go to here and put percent, and then I can tap to fill this to the rest of the years up to here, and again let me out of it column width, so that we see format out of it column width, so that we see the percentage well. Now I can copy this, all this, and then copy and then paste them below. So here I paste, here I select all these and paste, here I select all these and paste, here I paste, here paste, here select all these up to profit after tax, here profit after tax, and paste. Okay, so we have reduced our year one is the base figure, that's why it's always 100%. In this tax area here we have div definitely, because if we go to the figures for tax in year one is 0. Okay, so that's why we have this arrow sign here, so this one is not applicable here. Okay, let me delete this, clear this one, all this, let me clear all this. It's not applicable. So now we compare from year two. If we are now talking about the sales line here, year two we have 119.04% compared to 100% in year one. So there is a growth of 19%. In year two in year three is 125%. So there is a growth of 25% compared to the base year. Okay, so our comparison is with the base year. So we are done with this, and the other approach now is comparing between the current and the previous. Okay, so in this case, if we start here, so let me start with equal sign. So year one, the current is this one, and the previous is the same because that's where we start. Okay, and the previous is the same. So this one minus this one again. Minus this one. It is going to be the same. That is for year one. For year two here, let me start with edit, year 2 is going to be this figure minus the previous figure, this one. Okay, press enter, and this one is true for year 3. This one is true for year 3, so I fill this for year 3 also. Let me again out of it column width so that we see. So year 3, for example, if I click here and in the formula bar, we see that we have taken the figure for year 3 minus the previous year. Okay, the previous year, that is year 2. And for year 2, if I click on the formula bar, we have taken the figure for year 2 minus the previous year, which is year 1. Okay, and for year 1 is 0. This is the starting point, so it will always be 0 in absolute terms. So again, I select all this, copy, and then come here, select this and paste. Come here, select this and paste. Come here, select this and paste here, paste here, paste here, paste here, okay, up to here, paste. So we have our changes in absolute value. Okay, now let us do the same exercise, but for this is year over year changes, and now we are going to year over year changes that are presented in percentage terms. So again, so I start with equal sign, go to, this one is going to be the same, so we can start with year 2 here, year 2, okay, divide by year 1, and then minus 1. Okay, press enter. That is for, that one was supposed to be in year 2, sorry. Let me clear this. This one is in year 2 here. Year 1 is the base, so it's going to be 0. No computation will be done on year 1 because this is the base year. The changes start to be computed. That's why we had 0 here, as you can see. So the changes starts to be computed from year 2. And the formula, there are 2 ways, as I said. You can, the first way is to take the difference. So I'll start with equal sign, open the bracket, and go to year 2. Year 2 minus the figure for year 1, and then close the bracket, and that difference is divided by the base, which is the previous year, and in this case is this one. This is C2 is the base. So press enter. Okay, So that is one approach you can use. And the other one, which is the simplest now, so maybe that other one, okay, let's do it here, because the simplest one is the one that we are going to use now. So you see, is if we put it in percentage terms, let me, before I type the other one, let me put this in percentage terms. So it's 19.4%. So let us use the other way. The other way, which is the simplest, is start with equal sign and then take the year 2 figure, divide it by year 1 figure, and then minus 1. So we get the same. Okay, so this is the one we are going to use. And this is true for year 2, so I just fill this for year 3, so I just fill this to cover year 3. And again, let me auto-fit column width to see. So now I can just select these two, copy, and then come here, paste, come here, select up to here, paste, come here, select up to here, paste, come here, paste, come here, paste, come here, paste. So let me auto-fit again, column width. So if we go anywhere, for example, if we go to here and click on that, we see the formula has taken figure for year 3, which is the current, divided by previous minus 1, okay, to get the growth rate for this. Okay, so that's how you do it. Of course, here we have div because of the 0 element. As we see, if I click on the formula bar here, we have taken this divide by previous year, which is 0. That's why there is div. So this one is not applicable here. So I can delete this. I can clear this. So we have our analysis, horizontal analysis, in using both methodologies, the baseline and year over year. So we now see the trend of our income statement, projected income statement, and if we have industry data for this horizontal analysis, we can compare our projected performance with the industry. If we have competitor data, we can do this horizontal, we can compare our position with the horizontal analysis of our competitor. Of course, the data for industry will be historical. You'll get historical data for comparison. So you can see the previous trend and see with your projected trend whether you are going in the same lines of expected industry performance or competitor performance in the past. Okay, so that's it about it in the income statement. We will do it in another tutorial. The next tutorial will do it for balance sheet and then for the cash flow. Bye for now. Subscribe if you find this presentation worth for you, so that you can get posted when I share new posts. Share this if you find it useful, so that others can see it. Thanks.